I manufacture and sell the LMF adjustable powder dipper. It's made from 6061 aluminum, and there's also a version available in brass. The dipper is composed of three parts. We have the body, the main body here, and the handle, which is threaded into the body by turning it like this. When you turn it and release it, you release an inner thimble, which provides adjustment anywhere from 0 to 3.7 cubic centimeters. By taking the thimble out, turning it over, inserting it back into the dipper, you can throw smaller charges for pistol, ammunition, that type of thing. But in the normal position, its primary function is to throw charges for short action rifle, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, etc. So what we're going to do is, one thing I'd like to point out is, once you establish a volume or a position of the thimble for a particular load that you like to shoot, you measure the entire length of the dipper with a caliper and write that down in your hand loading log so you can return quickly to that load. So the particular load I like to shoot is 41.4 grains of Ogden 4350, and I know from my last experience using this dipper, I've used it many times, I like to set the length to 1.484 inches. So I just take the caliper and dial it into 1.484, lock it down, put it on a supporting surface, loosen up the thimble, drop it on the bench, take it and insert it between the jaws of the caliper. Tighten up the handle. And I know that I'm going to be very close to 41.4 grains. So I'm going to throw a few charges here and kind of give you a demonstration of just how fast and how smooth this works. I came up with this dipper because I've got several different rifle rounds that I like to load with particular charges, and I want to do it quickly. I don't want to fool around with an electronic powder dispenser or a charge thrower. It's just too much equipment and it's too slow. So a couple of tips I want to give you guys. Before you use this dipper and after you use this dipper, you want to make sure that it's clean. So a good idea is to take a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol and a rag or a cloth and wipe the dipper off and make sure there's no oil from your hands, any grease on there, anything like that, to keep the powder from sticking to it. When I designed the dipper, I was very careful to make sure that there were no surfaces that would collect powder and make a mess over the bench as you're pouring it into your scale. When you use this dipper, you want to make sure that you develop a habit of dipping consistently. And, whatever technique you use, just make sure that you apply it each time. You'll have better results. I like to just take it, dip it in backwards like this. Give it a little shake. Pour it into the tray. Okay, I shoot for 41.4. I got 40.5. So, very simple. Use the trickler. Bring it up to 41.4, 41.46. I'm in kind of an awkward position here. Normally I don't have my equipment set up like this, but for demonstration purposes, this is a pretty good layout. .44. Once you get the hang of it and you get rolling, you'll see really how simple this is. 40.5. So what you want to do when you first start using it, you want to take the time to make sure that you set it up such that you're throwing a charge that is slightly shorter every time, slightly undercharged. And then just a couple of little tweaks on the trickler, bring it up to the exact weight. So for you guys that are shooting for consistency, accuracy, whether you're doing PRS or bench rest, you know how important muzzle velocity is. I don't need to go into all that. I think if you're watching this video, you guys are pretty savvy. But on the flip side of the coin, if you're just making plinking ammunition without a scale, this will get you safely within range every time. As long as you use a consistent dipping technique, that's pretty important. Okay, 41.4. I think you've seen enough of that. So, my little company, LMF-llc, manufactures these dippers, and they're available on Amazon and eBay for a pretty reasonable price. There's two versions. One is, as I mentioned, 6061 aluminum. The other one is brass. Brass is nice. It's a little bit heavier, but it looks nice and it feels good in your hand. This particular unit is one of the first ones that I made, so I'm keeping it for demonstration purposes, and I use it all the time. Has a knurled handle. The ones that I sell don't have a knurled handle. If you'd like a knurled handle, be sure to drop me a note before you purchase it, and I'll knurl it for you at no extra charge. It's pretty simple process. These are really well made, accurately machined, and I certainly enjoy using them. I mean, this is I've loaded thousands of rounds of rifle ammunition, and I can possibly conceive of a different way to do it. I'm not telling you guys how to load, but I find it convenient, and so take a look at it, and thank you for watching.